Hi, my name is Katrina with IdeateTV, and I'm here with Robert Holton, great painter. Hey, so tell us about your work.
So this is my fifth winter fantasy here in Laguna Beach.
Very cool.
And I do pop art, an Andy Warhol versus Jackson Pollock, kind of a blend. I like painting a lot of things from the past, and it takes us back. To me, it takes us back to happier times when we were a child. Maybe I do a lot of restaurants, food items, those kind of things, and then popular things also today.
Yeah, I mean it's very different, very unique. What is your inspiration behind all of this?
So growing up, I did enjoy the Andy Warhol type of thing. I've always liked typography and that kind of things. And then I had a sign business in Anaheim for 32 years. So that was my creative outlet, was doing that. And then unfortunately, it was about 13 years ago, my wife passed away. And we had a sign business, and I had a giant photo blow up of her at the funeral. And after she passed away, it was a couple of weeks later, she had been working in the office with us, and I needed to paint her office a different color. It was purple. I wanted to take care of that. But this photo print was sitting on the table, and I took the paint and I started throwing it on the photograph, and I had a little meltdown. But the next day I thought, wow, if I take my time combining a photograph and paint, I can create something unique. And I made like 5 paintings in the next 2 weeks. So it was very healing for me to create the art. And then I started painting things that brought joy to me as a child maybe, and mostly signage, but in my unique style, and it's kind of taken off from there. And then I did my first art show in Beverly Hills, and I sold 5 paintings. Congrats. And I was all excited. Yeah, it was nice. And so I really enjoy painting something and then hearing the story of maybe why they're buying it. You have a Bob's Big Boy or Denny's.
That's really powerful and deep when you talk about, how certain experiences bring you and kind of merge with your art, because that's what you are as an artist. You kind of use that as an expressive tool, and that means a lot, and that's a lot to share. Has it changed your art, or kind of like people grow and their craft changes sometimes based on experiences? How has that been?
It probably hasn't. I mean, I'm just I'm still stuck in that, creating things for clients that maybe an old game board, like I said, a restaurant, a food item, but that brought them joy, and to hear why am I painting that for them, and they've got a great story. I had a lady here this past summer that's commissioning me to do Jiffy Pop popcorn. Remember the old-fashioned Jiffy Pop, and you'd pop it on the stove? Her father invented Jiffy Pop popcorn. So how cool is that? And she's going to have this painting on the wall, and she'll have memories of her dad. Same with Mr. Bubble. I did a piece for a young lady, and her grandfather invented Mr. Bubble.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she sent me photos of her when she was like 2 years old, and there's Grandpa in the lab coat, that created this soap that for people my age, a lot of us had that connection. And it takes us, like I said, it takes us back in our childhood, takes you back to maybe a happier time, not plugged in, right? Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Well, what else have you kind of experienced here at Sawdust, and how's your experience been?
Sawdust, I had actually moved here. It was in my bucket list after my wife had passed away. I started a little bucket list, and one of the things I wanted to do was come to Sawdust. I had friends that were down here. I was living in Anaheim, and you have to actually live in Laguna Beach for 2 years. So I retired from my sign business. My oldest son bought me out. I moved down here for 2 years, worked out of the garage, opened a gallery downtown, and then got into Sawdust. And, in the summertime, there's 198 artists. We build our booths from the ground up. A lot of people don't realize that. So it's interesting to design it, either build it yourself or hire somebody on the grounds to build it. And then we do the winter show, and then after winter show, it's all gone. You come back in January, and it's just a field of trees and stuff, eucalyptus grove.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Robert. That was very interesting to hear about your work and your journey as an artist. Again, I'm Katrina with IdeateTV.